Let's talk about tubal flushing and whether it improves the chances of pregnancy. Now, this has been quite an interesting subject. There's been a huge amount of debate over 7 decades on whether tubal flushing improves the chance of pregnancy, and it dates back from 1910, where it was first used to evaluate the uterine cavity. Now, although this is widely used for diagnostic purposes, that tubal flushing may help to improve pregnancy rate wasn't investigated till recently. Today, tubal flushing is performed by multiple ways: hysterosalpingogram, hycosi, that is doing it under ultrasound, using a foam, that's what you do in a hycosi, a laparoscopy, and dye test. Different media are employed. Water based, in the UK, a water based media is used, and in some cases, mainly abroad, we think oil based media is also used. So, what they've looked at, numerous studies have compared the different contrast media, notably the one between water and oil, H2 oil study published in New England Journal of Medicine in 2017, and that remains the largest randomized controlled trial. And what this trial found was that hysterosalpingogram with an oil based medium, lipoidal, resulted in a 10% higher pregnancy rate within 6 months compared to a water based contrast. Now, that was exciting. Subsequent systematic reviews with meta analysis confirmed that benefits on the pregnancy rates using oil based compared to water based did not show similar effects. In this year, in the annual meeting of the European Society of Human Reproduction in July 2024, there were two presentations which again spoke of tubal flushing. The first was the H2 oil timing study, which investigated tubal flushing with oil based contrast and whether it shortens the time to pregnancy in unexplained infertility. For this multicentric trial concluded that it is in the Netherlands that randomizing or delaying by 6 months with hysterosalpingogram, the study group found no difference in pregnancy rates whether you used an oil-based study or not. And researchers concluded that early tubal flushing with oil-based studies does not shorten the time to ongoing pregnancy in unexplained, and especially women who have a favorable prognosis to get pregnant. Now, there's a difference between the H2O trial and H2O oil timing trial because both of them are slightly different. Now, a second study was presented by Dr. Yan, who compared the effects of oil based and water based women with low risk unexplained infertility, which means they had no ovulatory dysfunction, no tubal disease, no endometriosis, and a single large study of 1,187 participants, they found that amongst low risk women with unexplained infertility and no other factors, oil based contrast media was associated with a significantly higher clinical pregnancy rate compared to a water based media. However, this was not observed in the high risk populations. So we're back to the drawing board. And what has this told us? It's told us that in some cases, using an oil based media in unexplained infertility with no other factors may improve the chances of pregnancy. Now, there's a new study coming up, which is the H2 Oil 2 study in Netherlands, which aims to address exactly these questions. At present, tubal flushing has moved from a purely diagnostic tool into somewhat of a therapeutic tool. And the growing evidence is slowly building up, mainly on oil based. If you ask me, what has it also shown? That with water based dye or foam based dye, there is no evidence that that increases the chances of pregnancy when you flush the tubes. And that is important. Many of these studies are for those with oil based, and in many countries that is not available. But again, it does tell us that short of IVF, there may be some other interventions on the horizon.